on heroic stuff only. So Soulbinder is an incredibly simple fight. Um, Essentially, there's these canisters on the outside of the room that spawn ads, and the goal here is there's going to be beams that go on 2 selected players at a time, and your beam has to go through them. The biggest thing here, because this is a thing that melee and melee healers can easily make a mistake of, is if you put yourself between the canister and the boss and you're targeted with this beam, the beam only hits the first thing that it goes through because the beam is not a beam, it shoots out an orb. So if you eat that orb before it hits the canister, it will not break this canister. So you have to go either inside the canister or behind the canister. There is no staying in between the canister and the boss. These two add spawn, and we just start hitting like crazy. They don't do anything in this state. These are little orbs that will shoot out of you. It's called convergence. It's essentially like Kaiveza, what was it called? Queen's Bane or whatever it was. Just very, very, very slow. And then this is a knockback. And now we're just moving boss to the next set of canisters. And we're going to do it all over again. Break and kill. Again, these ads do absolutely nothing. And we're going to do this 3 times total. So we're about to hit 2 minutes here. 2 minutes is when all the ads we have not broken out yet are going to spawn. So everyone with the 2-minute CD, it is just Mythic Plus, blow up everything kind of a situation. There's going to be 2 more ads that spawn like right up here somewhere. We can just script them in. What these ads do, the mages do a cast called Void Blast. It's, I believe, entire raid wide. It needs to be kicked. I'm not sure if this is Mythic only or if this is true on Heroic still, but once you interrupt its cast, the next cast speed is increased by 50%. So what we will try to do is once we gather them all together, we will try doing a CC rotation before we start interrupting. They are fully...
So is this gonna kind of be like the treasures boss from Siege of Orgrimmar, where you kind of have to pick and choose which ones you're going before they all break out?
Yeah, it's kind of like Lehivim from, what was that? Sepulchre?
Sepulchre?
Yeah. To a certain extent. The assassins do like a kind of like a vanish backstab, I guess, like an assassination rogue. The only thing is if there's people inside of the circle, it's a targeted ability, so it can go on like I assume any non-tank player. If Xancha is standing right next to Sky, for example, there's a small circle that will go around Xancha as he's targeted. If Sky is still inside of it, when the assassin gets his cast off and teleports behind Xancha, Sky will also take the damage that Xancha took. So it's basically if you get targeted by the assassin for that thing, you just want to get away from the rest of the team. And then from here, he's going to do a knockback, and then he's going to spawn more canisters. And we just repeat the fight. And that is the entire fight. So, starting in Heroic Week, this is the ad spawn for the first set. I haven't done the second set because I'm just not going to do it until I know what's for sure certain, but this is what it looked like on PTR. These phase blades are the most dangerous of those ads, but the way I would like to do this fight, we will eliminate all the phase blades and not even have to worry about them in the fight. So, again, this is me showing you these beams have to go through the canisters. Again, it's an orb. So if this melee DPS was targeted with this and he stood right here, he would get hit by the orb and the orb wouldn't hit this ad, and this ad would not be broken out of his canister. So you either have to go stand inside of the canister, ideally far away inside, or go behind. Do not stand in between the boss and the ad. I cannot emphasize that enough. The way I would like to do it is, and this is, the convergence doesn't really time up with those beams in heroic as well as it does in mythic, but just to get some good muscle memory when it does matter in heroic, if it will matter in heroic. In mythic, those little star circles that shoot out, these little convergence stars, in mythic, you have to hit the canister with one of these balls first in order for the tank to be vulnerable to be broken out completely by these beams. It only goes one way. You cannot hit it with the beam first and then the ball. It has to be you hit it with the ball and then the beam. So these little things that shoot out of people have to hit the canisters. So that's why putting you guys back behind here will make it so that these become vulnerable, and then we can break them out with the lines. The reason why I think this will be the way to do it, when these little star orbs hit the canister, the orbs disappear. So you won't have to worry about a little orb coming out of this guy and then going into the raid. It just disappears as soon as it hits this canister. So I don't know if it's going to matter in heroic. I doubt it's going to, but if it does, it's good muscle memory practice to start doing it like that. I also know Mind brought up that you can actually stack, like both of these players could actually stack on top of each other. I bet it's going to get fixed before it goes live, so just don't even do that. And then the last thing that I'll mention for Mythic, and this is not something I'm going to be a stickler about, this is just to get good practice because this is the real Mythic mechanic of the fight, is every single time we get the knockback, wherever you land will drop a area of denial puddle where you land. So if you're a DK or any sort of area displacement person, you want to get knocked back. You do not want to be using something that's going to keep you where you're at. We also want to try to pixel stack so that we land in the same area, because we can drop a bunch of puddles in the same spot, and it's not going to be like the big hit from OAB where like they travel around to get their own little new spot or whatever. The areas that have ads is a banned spot to land in. These green areas are supposed to show you the good spots where they're like, yep, this is where we're trying to drop these at. And the knockback can knock you off this arena. So don't be by the edge. And that's this fight. Any questions?
For the beam, for the two beams that come out of the boss, can somebody accidentally soak that if they're in between that and the canister?
Yep.
Other than the person with the beam?
They can be blocked.
So if Thicket was on you and you went behind the canister and then Sheep stood between the boss and the canister, he would eat your orb. I assume that's the question you're asking.
Yes.
Yeah, there was an instance of it on PTR that I saw.
Yeah. So it's not just you as the beam person can't do it. It's the entire raid team absolutely cannot make that mistake.
So it's just banned areas near the canister.
Exactly.
No one else can be there.
Yep.
Okay.
And that exists on Heroic too. It's still an orb that you will eat on Heroic. So what Thick said is how I want people to think about it. It's a spot where you absolutely are not allowed to stand at. So real quick, just to show you what these ads do, this is the ambush ad. They did 100, almost 200 million. And that was basically only one intermission that they existed in. This is the Phaseblade ads. They did 173 million, and they did quite a bit. This is Mythic, by the way. And Heroic, the Phaseblades did more damage than the Assassins, but it's looking like maybe they got tuned up, so the Assassins are doing more now. And then these other mages, which you can see there's quite a bit in both intermissions here, and they by far did the least amount of damage. Not even close. So, what I think, and we'll figure this out once Race to World First happens, because I doubt we get here for week 1, in Mythic at least, but we will. The mages are probably going to be the ones that you want to have up. So, yeah. Week 1 Heroic, it probably won't matter at all. We'll probably one-shot this in Heroic. So, anything else?